Well, hello there, everybody. It is I, Gasket King. And this is a video long time coming. Ever since I started my shelf, and I alluded, how I've lost a lot of things. And I think it's finally time to tell the story on how I lost my items. Now, there's three parts to this story, and I'm going to tell the first two here. And then tomorrow, you'll get to hear the end in another video. So look forward to that. But anyway, on to the story. This story starts back some time ago. I believe the year was either 96 or 97. And I was just a wee 6 or 7 year old. And I lived in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas. Shout out to anyone watching from there. And the family decided to move to Florida. And, being 6 or 7, I had never heard of Florida. It's like, oh, what's Florida? Where's Florida, And, I was excited. The thing was, we couldn't put everything in the hatchback. So we had to decide what goes and what stays. So at the time, I went through all my toys. I don't exactly remember the process, but I do remember the trip to the storage facility where we put the rest of our things, with full intentions of coming back for them someday. And we paid that bill every month for over 10 years. So yeah, we put everything in the storage unit, and that's where it stayed for 10 years. We moved off to Florida, 10 years of life go by, and then my dad died. So we couldn't really afford the storage unit anymore. So it defunct. So that was the first time I lost anything. So anything I had up until age 7, that stayed behind was gone. Toys, furniture, all of my baby photos, just completely gone. There are absolutely no baby photos of me anywhere now. They're completely gone. Which is a shame. I can't really remember. I think we tried to get some family to help us, but I guess they didn't really care. I'm a little fuzzy on the details. It was a very strange year, 2008. So, my dad dies, we lose the storage unit, we lose a lot of stuff in that storage unit. And if anyone happened to buy a storage unit in Texas that had a giant plush yellow rabbit in it and a bunch of other shit, if you happen to still have the baby photos from that storage locker, and you happen to see this, please contact me. My website's down below. There's many ways to contact me if you just happen to have those things. I highly doubt anyone does. They're probably in a landfill somewhere. But, shit happens. Shit happens. So, life goes on. 08, 09, I get a job, my only job. And, I pretty much had everything else from my childhood from like '08 and up in the garage. Quite a few large boxes. At the time, I had been going through them, picking some things out, bringing them into the house. And at the time, we were living with my grandmother. Well, we had to sign a rent agreement, and then she decided we could extend it 2 more weeks after the due date. And then she completely screwed us over in between checks. She kicked us out. We had like 10 minutes to go through everything we owned. When she was standing over us the whole time. And it was fucking horrible. I lost a lot of my childhood stuff that day. A lot of it worth money, quite a bit of money. I had a lot of collectibles, rare toys, but yeah, just completely gone. It even went to the point where I had to choose between my two of my childhood toys, Buzz and Woody. And I chose Woody, and Buzz ended up in a trash bag. And for years, I've still had nightmares about that because for me, it was very traumatic because I was not expecting it to happen. I was expecting to hold on to these things, for the rest of my life. If I had ever had a kid in the future, I was going to pass them on. Uh, back then, I still thought, okay, maybe I'll have a kid someday. I wasn't quite the fat loser I am now, basically. I still had hope in my future. I could still walk and do things. But yeah, that kind of changed. So yeah, I had nightmares about it for years, and it pissed me off so much. I'm still pissed off about it. I have the hate inside me. So that was the second time I lost all my shit. Ooh, I have a little tear in my eye. Ooh. And it was horrible. I had a lot of stuff taken from me that day. We had maybe 4 or 5 storage tubs we filled up with what we could. We took our clothes and we left. We ended up living in a hotel for a while. Like a year later, we ended up living with my grandma again. And that's when we found out everything was gone. She completely removed everything we left behind. Now, if it had been up to me, I would have not left anything behind. Okay, that stuff was not abandoned. I was fully going to go back for it at some point. That stuff had been sitting in the garage for years upon years out of the way, and she did that out of spite and hate. That's and for years, I was certain that it all ended up in a landfill. All of my precious childhood memories just in a landfill, rotting away, completely destroyed. And that pissed me off immensely. I don't think I can ever forgive something like that. What was that? Yeah. But yeah, that's how I lost all my items. So then 6, 7 years later, I started the shelf. And, you know, for a while, you know, it made me happy. And, you know, it kind of filled in the void. Eventually, it didn't do that anymore. So I just kind of sold off most of the shelf. But then something happened. And that is going to be tomorrow's video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There's a little piece of my life for you. You know, I know it probably isn't, you know, something like happened to somebody else, you know, they might not think that's a big deal, but as a kid, I didn't have a lot of friends. So it's just kind of me and my toys and my video games. And they meant something to me. You know, sometimes I would play with some toys more than other, but, you know, it would go in cycles. And losing all that stuff really hurt me. It caused me a great deal of pain and depression, and it was fucking horrible. But there is a third part to the story that you will see tomorrow. I don't know when I'll upload it tomorrow, but it will be tomorrow. Guaranteed. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my story, I guess. Just a part of my life. Please check out my website down below, and I will see you guys in the next video tomorrow. I hope you guys have a good one, and I hope nothing like this ever happens to you. Bye.